I thought he had a really good off-season. He didn't miss any time at all through the off-season, and I thought he was probably the most impressive in the number 6 jumper in the guys that were competing for that position through the trials. So, you know, when you sit down and break it down into small pieces, he probably did a bit, had an uninterrupted off-season and did really well through the trials. No, mate, that's why we brought him here. You know, we didn't buy him here to play second grade. We brought him here to play first grade, and you know, he's done really well. You watch players, obviously, and you look at areas where you need improving. We knew Matty Rogers was going to retire, so we sort of looked around to see who was performing, and he was a good fit for us. You know, he's a Queenslander. He was coming home. He was in good form with South. He got us cracked there at the end of the year. So, like, recruitment's ongoing. You know, you never stop. You always take notice of players you think will suit the style of footy you play, and he was one. Yeah, well, he played at hooker through the trials, and he can covers so many positions, you know, and crucial positions. You know, when you get an injury in the halves in the course of a game, or at hooker or at fullback, it's hard to carry someone who just plays in that position on the bench. To have a guy of Presto's quality to be able to play at 6, 7, hooker or fullback, I don't think there's many clubs that would have that luxury. First up, I thought Zillman had a tremendous off-season. He was unable to play in the trials just through a little bit of a back complaint. Probably could have played in the last one, but we thought we'd save him. He was in tremendous form last year at fullback or on the wing, so I thought it was about time that, you know, he was given an opportunity to cement that spot. And Presto, you know, he's such an important part of our side, you know, on and off the field, and he's been tremendous in the trials. He's probably been one of our better players in the last 2 trials. Not really, you know. I think Princey plays best when he feels pressure. You know, I think that's when he's at his best. That's definitely what he's shown to us over the last few years. Yeah, it'll take a while for them to get comfortable with each other, but the time that they have spent together in the trials, you know, we've won both trials, so we couldn't do much more than that. Haven't really spoken about it. You know, if that's the way it turns out, well, that's great. You know, that's probably something that we'll sit around after the game and talk about, whether it did give them heavy legs or it made them strive that little bit harder, because everyone was going to say that. So that's a hindsight thing, and I'm sure people will talk about that after the game. He was excited, you know, when I spoke to him about you know, the possibility of Preston being a bit of a coming off the bench type player, and that left the fullback spot between himself and Shannon Walker. I think Shannon's done really well. I thought his trial form was the best that he's performed at that level. You know, and I've spoke to Shannon the whole way through it. Zilly probably had the inside running because of what he did for us last year when he played at fullback. But you know, I'd have no problems putting Shannon Walker there, the way he performed through the trials.